You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. When the tribe and just buy $3.99. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 341 of the Better Herons podcast. I'm your host, Dan. You can on alongside me as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I'm nervous, Danny. I'm nervous.
Absolutely no reason to be. We are coming on here to give an early look at next week's Champions Cup game. We are that excited about the semifinals. You know, I forgot to even plug this on Twitter. I forgot to put them that we were going on tonight. But we are, and we're talking Vancouver because, I mean, honestly, this is the biggest game. I mean, I guess technically the Leagues Cup final is the biggest game in history, but I mean, this tournament is so much bigger than the Leagues Cup.
Well, look, this is a gimme, this tournament. Like, essentially, it's been rolled, like I said before, red carpet for us to win. And we've made it further, other than counting Leagues Cup, right? Further, and now we're facing off against a juggernaut in Canada. Vancouver has been that team in Canada. And now Vancouver, off of a 5-1 domination. Like, I mean, and on top of that, what's this guy? Gold is coming back. Like, we and you're on mute right now, but like we might be completely cooked.
No, we're definitely going to talk about Gold and all that. I did want to talk about a little stuff that's coming up first, right? Because and we're going to talk about that 5-1 victory.
How can I not be scared, Miami King?
But before we start talking about that game, I feel like we need to talk Inter Miami specifically because people are starting to get worried about the offense. And I want to get your thoughts on the offense so far because Solana put an interesting a comment up about the defense and how improved it's been. But I went ahead and I pointed out, we've been shut out twice so far this year. Are you worried about the offense?
Listen, it really depends because, like, Mascherano, you kind of give him credit for plugging in different players and trying to make, something happen, and obviously it doesn't hurt that we lost Allende for a number of games. Now that we got Allende back, hopefully like 100%, I think that's going to turn for the better. But we do have to kind of count all the Allende-less games that we had. Allende was like a huge piece in the beginning.
Do you remember when Allende got injured?
I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the second or third game of the season.
And maybe somebody in the chat can help us with that, and maybe that'll help us get a better look at the attack. Because I was going to put up some numbers, or at least talk about some numbers, because although the attack, because last year we were averaging a little over 2 goals a game, right? Which is pretty good.
Yes.
But this year, it's not like we're not scoring at all. When you look at just the regular season, we've played 7 regular season games. We scored 12 goals. That's 1.7 goals per game. That's 5th best in the league right now. There's 30 teams in this league. There's only 4 teams that are better than us right now on the attack. Talking strictly regular season. That's not bad. When you compare it to last year, and that's a conversation we can have also, the fact that last year and this year's roster, we feel like this year's roster is better, right? I think we could both agree that this year's roster looks better, but it's not producing at as high a clip as they did last year. Because last year we were averaging over 2 goals a game.
So let me
but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that we're averaging 1.7, which is 5th best in the league. That's not horrible. We're not doing that bad.
So we lost Allende after the Atlanta game. We won against Atlanta. Since
Okay.
then, we've been, because that's when he got hurt, around the turf time. Turfy turf. Okay. Shout out to Tommy Two Time asking if anybody's going to be in Cleveland Saturday. So let us know if you guys are going to be in Cleveland on Saturday. That's going to be a fun game. But since then, we played against Philly, scored 2. Played against LAFC, scored 0. Played against Toronto, scored 1. Played against LAFC with him, scored 3.
So he missed
there's only
2 games?
So he missed, in terms of regular season games, he missed the game against Philly, the game against Toronto, and as far
One
as like
LAFC match and 1 Cavalier match?
no, he
was there
played
for the
Cavalier.
match.
Yes, it was after the Cavalier series, we played against Atlanta. And he also didn't play against Chicago.
It
So
feels like
technically,
he missed a lot more. So all he did was miss what, 3 games?
he missed 3 total games. 1, 2, no, 3, 4, 5 games. Well, no, I'm sorry, 4 games, because he did play against LAFC.
Oh, that's surprising. I really thought that it was more than 3. Okay.
Well, if you count it from March 16th, and then he started April 9th, we missed him for about 3+ weeks.
Yeah, but remember, after the March 16th game, we had that international break where we had that week off. So we didn't play a game. So it feels like he missed a lot more, but you can't even point at that as to why the offense isn't producing as highly. And again, the reason that I felt like the offense is standing out as not as good is because we've been shut out twice. And that doesn't usually happen. And the fact that both of those times came with Messi on the pitch is even more alarming, because the last time we had gotten shut out with Messi on the pitch was in 2023, the last game of the season, when they lost to Charlotte 1-0 in Charlotte for the season finale. But I felt like that game, he was kind of just going through the motions. He was kind of just like, okay, I showed up in Charlotte. This game doesn't matter. I walked around. Like I felt like there was no energy in that game. And then before that, it was the Nashville in August. I think it was August 28th or August 30th in 2023. Before this year, it's happened twice in a span of a couple weeks. Before that, it hadn't happened since 2023.
As far as just speaking of the lackluster offense, look, there is the correlation of us having goals and not having Allende playing. I mean, he did start against LAFC, and we won that 3-1. He did play against Chicago. He came off the bench.
So are you saying that but he played that game and we got shut out?
Well, but he came off the bench. Let me see when he came on. He came on and then in the 60th minute with 30 minutes to be able to make a difference. I'm not saying that that's not enough. I'm not telling you that this is 100% the answer, but I think missing Tadeo Allende is a big part of it, right?
I think that what's happening is the talk
was getting cute.
No, the talk was that this defense needed to be revamped. It needed to be improved. And they went ahead and they did that. They added a couple players, and they aren't necessarily playing as high a line. They aren't being as reckless with remember, it used to be Jordi Alba and whoever's on the right, Cello, used to push up as high also. You don't see the right side pushing up as high anymore. Jordi Alba, although he still does it, there's a lot of times that we say, like, why aren't we attacking up the wings? Why isn't Jordi Alba pushing up as high? Why isn't Jordi Alba as involved in the attack? But that also has a lot to do with the fact that we aren't pushing him up as high. So we're not getting beat as much on the counter.
Listen, Carlos Eleven's bringing up a big point too. Also, stop playing midfielders on the wings.
Well, Allende's a true winger.
All right, but we got
not
exactly. You got Segovia,
is not
Kremaski. You got Fafa's a good placement on the wing. I'll take that.
Well, I'll take that. So that also has a lot to do with, right? Because we don't have that true wing play, but we're playing up the middle, right? We're forcing it up the middle, and that probably has a lot to do with it also. But That's also why we're not conceding as many goals, because I feel like the offense, although not as good as last year, it isn't bad. They're still scoring. Yes, we had 2 shutouts, which sucks. But when you look at it overall, we've played 13 games. We scored 23 goals. That's 1.8 goals per game. We're almost at 2 goals per game. That's not bad. That's better than the majority of the league.
Yes, it is.
Defensively. Go ahead.
No, and I'm pretty sure just looking at our matchup against Vancouver, Vancouver's 5-goal, blast off probably teeters their numbers a little better, but obviously it pads it. It pads it.
Yeah.
It's not.
And
true.
We'll get into that in a second. Yeah, but 100%. But so let's go to the Inter Miami's defense. They've improved their defense, obviously, right? The quality of players is better. They can get back in transition. Jordi Alba, the fullbacks in general, right back and left back, are not pushing up as high, which is something that we've been yelling about when it comes to our attack. Why are we playing up the wings? They're giving us the wings, push up higher, but they're playing a little more conservative with that, which is assisting in the defense. And I'm sure Ustadi helps also, the fact that he's a sweeper keeper.
Yes.
So defensively, in 7 games, regular season, we've given up 6 goals, 0.8 goals per game. Pretty good. I haven't compared it to the rest of the league, but that's pretty good. In Champions Cup, we've played 6 games. We've given up 3 goals. That's half a goal per game. Also pretty good. When you put all 13 games together, that's 9 goals in 13 games, 0.7 goals per game. And remember, in there, we played against Philadelphia, which was a high-scoring attack, which we kind of shut out. LAFC, although they haven't looked great this season, they have some dangerous players. We kept them in check. Chicago, which was one of the, I think it's currently the second highest scoring team in the league, behind Orlando. At home, we shut them out. So our defense is light years better than it was last year. So would you want to have last year's team where it was really good in the attack, and it wasn't as bad as people say on the defensive end, but it wasn't great either. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as people say, but it wasn't great. Would you rather have that really good attack and a subpar defense, or would you like what we're kind of seeing this year, where it's a little more balanced? Because I'm feeling this balance right now.
Well, I'll take the balance, because you know that in any moment in the game, it could just, at the snap of a finger, our offense is on.
Absolutely.
Now, defensively, the only other team that's conceded 6 goals this year is Columbus, and we have a game in hand.
Yeah, we're allowing per game. We have the best defense in the league.
And the only other teams are Vancouver and St. Louis, who have allowed 6 as well. Same thing. We have a game in hand. So
wait. Tell me that they have a better defense then.
Yeah, I mean, they have an extra game played. They have an extra game play. I mean, who knows?
And they've allowed one. Yeah, but they've allowed less goals in that extra game played.
Correct. So, I mean, technically, because they all have played an extra game, quite possibly their numbers could be a little bit more skewed. But, I mean, who knows? We can shut out Columbus on Saturday. Yeah, Mike V saying Vancouver 0.075 per match, goals conceded.
And we're 0.8. Yeah. No. If they've played more games and allowed less goals, they're definitely better.
Yeah.
They're definitely better.
And Mike V saying Vancouver 2.13 goals per match. Listen, that 5-goal appearance against Austin was big. That was big.
And I promise you, I'm going to get into those numbers also. And we're going to get into the roster. Chris and I, we do the Battered MLS fans, so we've been following the Vancouver kind of closely. So we're going to have a regular preview show next week with a Vancouver guest, third sub. We're going to have that next week. But we figured that we talk about it today because I feel like this is such a big topic right now. We're so excited for it, honestly. So what would you change right now in this Inter Miami squad? We're 13 games into the year. What would you, when you look at this team, what would you change?
Danny, I just mentioned it. I don't.
And I'm asking the chat also. I would love to hear what the chat has to say. What would you change on this team? Would you change the formation, tactics? Would you push up higher on the weight? Like, what would you change if you could change something? If you can get to Mascherano was like, whatever you tell me to change, I'll change it this Saturday. What would you choose to change?
I'm gonna tell him stop flirting with different people and Lujan and Weigand, put Frey there, right? Listen, Frey wants to play. Let him play. Mike V saying I'd have Rocco starting in the bag. Okay. And I would just tell Mascherano, stop flirting around. You're a hater, Danny. I mean, Rocco literally stopped all of Mexico. Stopped all of Mexico.
Mr. Kras says he would make Frey start. Soccer Daddy saying he would use natural wings.
That's another thing. I would tell him start Frey and stop with the Ben Krem crap, and keep Tadeo Allende there if he's 100%. If he's 100%. And as far as like what's this guy Segovia? I don't know, man. He's taking a decline. I don't know whether to kind of budge and just say pull the trigger, put somebody else in, or keep him there and hope that he kind of runs well.
Marasover saying bring in the kids sooner or earlier subs with the younger kids. Mr. Spider Pig saying formation and player selection. Okay, but help us be a little more specific with that. Francisco saying nada. Just wait for the strikers to have better chances. I was watching that Inter Miami game back. I forgot that at the end of the first half, Jordi Alba had a beautiful ball to Suarez where he got unmarked.
Noah Allen, you're talking about.
Somebody passed. Yeah, it might have been Noah Allen. Yeah,
Noah Allen with a beautiful pass.
Jordi Alba didn't start. You're right. Noah Allen.
It looks like Jordi Alba's
in the middle
pass.
of the box. Nobody marking him, and then he just volleyed it, and it just went way over the cross. And I was like, "Come on, man! I need you to get back to it." And I and everybody here knows I'm not a big Luis Suarez fan personally. I think his personality annoys me on the pitch, but his skill I know is there, and I know it has to come back on eventually. Rick A. Allen, Peluca, Toto, Frey backline. Okay.
Ooh,
I mean, I like Noah Allen, but I don't hate the Toto either.
And then Scheme saying let Gressel cross. That's not a bad idea either, Danny. At least he's a winger.
Okay. Before I get to the rest of the comments, then let me tell you what I would do. And I haven't read the rest of the comments yet. What I would do, I'd keep Suarez. I'd keep the same formation. Okay. I know the formation is a little funky, but I think that the double pivot has helped with Bright and Busquets. What I would do, and I would just do this experimentally, right? Just to see if it works, see if anything changes, right? Because it might not change, and then I go back to it. But
yeah,
for a couple games, I would move Messi back to the right wing. I would move Telasco Segovia to the 10, where it seems like he is most productive, so that way you have that triangle of link play between Messi, Suarez, and Segovia, because I believe Segovia is good. He's just not a good winger right now. I would try that out. Will it work? I don't know. But right now, I would. What are you going to lose? I would test that out, and I would have Tadeo Allende on the left as my left wing. He's played seasons out on left wing, and that would be my front four. I'd keep Busquets and Bright as my double pivot. Obviously, Jordi Alba, Ian Frey at right back, and then Peluca with either Toto or Noah Allen. I love the way Noah Allen's played, but if they put Toto, I trust him also. That's the only change I could imagine making right now.
I don't think that's a bad idea. Squeezing Segovia at the 10, and then
there you go. Mitch said the same thing.
Yeah, Mitch is on point here, and then putting Allende at the left wing. I mean, you'll get productivity from him there as well. So
yeah, man, he makes those runs. Doesn't matter where he is.
And let's keep going with the rest of the comments. I would play wider, like second LAFC game, Miami King. That's good.
Yes, if a team is playing that compact defense, crowding the box. Spread it out, Miami King. Absolutely.
Now, Mr. Krabs, that's the comment I was going to bring up. He says, play the kids, give them a chance. Mr. Krabs, I understand what you're saying, right? Like, I get it. But, I mean, this isn't going to be the most optimal squad for this team.
What kids?
Play the kids. I mean, I
Obando?
imagine he's speaking about Obando, Ruiz, Kremaki. Mitch saying play Messi.
Playing a lot.
Yeah, play Messi at right wing, Allende at left wing, Segovia at the 10 or bench. I mean, Mike, you could just come right in here. Mike V saying I would sub off Suarez at the 60th minute every game.
I don't know about every game, but I would. Let's try Obando. This kid's literally signed to Atletico Madrid. They're not just signing bums. Like, if you're ending up one of the top 3 teams In La Liga, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I know Atletico Madrid is considered the third, but if you're ending up on any of those top 3 teams, the scouts see something in you. Give them a try. Give him a try. Push up with the fullbacks more. Angel, I think that's part of the reason why our defense has actually improved. But I am okay giving Jordi Alba a little more freedom to push up because Jordi Alba has not been as involved in the attack as he was last year. Last year, he was the attack. Everything was coming up that left side and then working it in from the left to right. And this year, he's just not pushing up as high.
And there's people that are mentioning Gressel here with reason.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With reason, I get it, right? But and Marasovic, I don't know if I agree 100% bringing in Fafa. I think if you were to bring in Obando, I think that Gressel would be a menace if you were to do that kind of deal. But I don't think that's going to happen. Gressel you could just tell that Mascherano is basically telling you in your face, Gressel doesn't fit my system right now, buddy. Like, when is this trade deadline? This guy's going to be on an airplane within the next 7 to 10 business days.
I was just about to say, it's on the 23rd of April, which is, today's the 15th, in 8 days.
Next 7 to 10 business days.
There's a good chance that by next Wednesday, he's not part of this team. Now, if he's part of this team past next Wednesday, you got to play him. Like, if he's still on this team, let's play him. As of right now, I haven't brought him up because if he's going to go, I get it. Don't risk an injury. Whatever you're going to get for him as far as a transfer fee, that's fine. But if next Wednesday he's still on the team, play the guy. Like, might as well. Why not?
Dude, and I'm telling you, he knows that he can get a good deal somewhere else and time. And money is only going to pour in more for him if he does play because he knows that whatever showing he has, teams are going to be looking at him. Like, he's not a blowhard. Like, he will be a starting right wing in a lot of teams in the MLS.
El Jibaro is saying play Segovia at the false 9 with Messi in the wing and set Redondo to play Bright to recover. Yes, I think we all agree that Bright 100%. Is the starter over Redondo, 100%.
1,000%.
But they're letting Bright rest often and giving Redondo some chances. I'm sure it's because of his father and all that other stuff. But the important games, Bright starting. Now, the Segovia as the false 9, that's interesting to me. Are you suggesting that Suarez doesn't start and we play with just a false 9? Or are you saying play as a double up top with Suarez and Segovia, but Segovia dropping back down like a false 9? I'm just curious as to what you mean by that.
You guys are cooking.
Yeah. Suarez super sub. I don't think that'll ever happen. You know when that might happen? If he
Messi plays all 90.
Yeah, no. He's saying Suarez though.
Yeah,
Suarez,
but I'm saying like at least Messi will be on the pitch with him if he does come on as a super sub.
Oh yeah.
Messi never comes off.
If Suarez were to ever do that, which I don't think he would, but if he were to do that, I think he would do that next year. I haven't given up on Suarez having a huge season so far. He's had a rough go the last couple of weeks, but I still think that he's going to have a big season.
Yeah.
But I think that this might be his last season. I can't imagine him coming back. If he comes back, it has to be as a super sub. He can't be the starter next year.
And Judas, you're saying lack of rotation, aka not what I want, so I'm a bitch. What?
I don't know.
What?
Is he quoting you?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Miami King saying Baltasar may be the answer. He can be an attacking midfielder, makes Messi more freedom to play striker. Well, remember, but Segovia is also an attacking midfielder. So I'm curious as to what Baltasar Rodriguez is going to do once he gets on this team, because I don't know where he fits yet. But if he's a baller, I'm sure they'll find a place for him.
I really think it's wild that you guys are at this point where you guys really kind of want to shelf Suarez. Like, look at where you guys are sitting. I know, but 80% of the chat, they're there. They're saying we need to shelf this guy. Give me Obando. Give me Rocco. Give me a false 9.
I understand that technically he hasn't had the best of weeks. But if you think about it, the LAFC game, he scored, and that wasn't offside. I'm sorry. That wasn't offside.
2 goals he should be having extra.
And then last week, that one, I guess you could say it was offside. They didn't look at it, but he almost got that goal also. Like, he's getting there. He just hasn't had the best of luck the last couple of weeks. But Suarez, don't give up on Suarez just quite yet. And that's coming from somebody that isn't a big fan of Suarez. But I wouldn't give up on him just quite yet.
You guys are pulling the chair from under him too quick. Mike V told you guys under 15 goals in MLS this year. Mike V, there's still like a huge portion of the season left.
We've played 7 games, so we still have 27 games to go.
Like,
He's got a hat trick somewhere in there, a brace here and there. That's 7 goals in 3 games. Yeah, he'll get to 15. And if you hear what I'm saying, the new guy is too green to start. Absolutely, you can't start Obando.
But people want him because they're seeing that Suarez is blowing passes from Noah Allen, blowing back. I mean, listen.
Do you remember the Obando hate? What game was it? Was it the LA? No, it wasn't LA.
It was his first appearance off the bench.
Yeah. But what was that? Toronto? I don't remember what game it was. But yeah, his first appearance, he had that one-on-one chance.
He blew it.
Exactly. And then people were ready up on him. Like, oh, he's a bum. He's a bum. So look, I get it. Fandom is very, what have you done for me lately? So I get it. Look at this guy.
This is diabolical.
Don't even put that up. Mike V, what are you doing?
Mike V, I literally have been, I want everybody to know, I've been cooking up a video I want everybody to watch pretty soon. And I've been looking at past players with us to see where they're playing. Robbie Robinson, I haven't found him. He's on a milk carton somewhere. He's not playing anywhere at this moment. Not USL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nowhere.
All right. And Harris Raha saying Messi is a false 9. Suarez didn't score in 8 games, bro. It's finished. Now, in those 8 games, I'm sure that there's some games where he assisted, though. He has assisted. I'm not going to go back and look at the stats, but I know that he has contributed goal contributions much more than half the games. So I wouldn't give up on him just quite yet. So the CCC semifinal starts next week. The first game is in Vancouver, and it is on Thursday. Damn it, man, another Thursday game.
No, it's like at 11:30.
10:30.
10:30.
I mean, that's as West Coast as you can get, though, Vancouver. It's 10:30, and it's on Thursday. And then the second leg is here in Miami on April 30th on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's an 8 o'clock start. Now, a couple things about this. Chris and I will finally be at the games because, one, thank you, Inter Miami. They finally offered us our actual seats.
Yes.
The first time in the whole tournament, because I know everybody's getting like, oh, here, you can opt into your tickets. You can opt into your tickets. They kept giving us the Lego seats, like the 23rd row in the Lego seats. I don't know.
Yeah.
They finally gave us our actual seats. So thank you, Inter Miami, for finally doing us that favor. So I finally got the tickets. I'll finally be able to go to a CCC game. And the thing about that is Vancouver has taken advantage of this silly away goal rule that Xavier Lavos loves to talk about so much.
Yes.
And we can get into that Vancouver thing, and I wanted to start there. But before I do, Chris, any thoughts on the game and the fact that we'll be finally going?
Well, I think it was a long time coming in this sort of tournament, right? That we were able to get our actual seats. That's fantastic at a good price, surprisingly, because I think, and I don't know, I mean, this is a Ticketmaster thing or an organization thing, but they finally priced it accordingly for a Wednesday game, for a semifinal Wednesday game. It's not bad, right? And it's definitely something that a lot of season ticket holders appreciate. Look, Matt from SoFlo Soccer was talking about it too. He was able to get his seats at the same price that we got ours. And a lot of people that we know mutually were able to get it too. So I think it's fantastic that the organization looked out for their season ticket members and got them their seats for this game.
Yeah, finally. I'm really happy about that. And I guess now we can get into Vancouver. We're half an hour in, and let's finally talk Vancouver side of the ball. And if you guys have any questions, please ask it, because if we don't have the answer, I'll promise you I know the people to ask, and we'll find those answers. So, Vancouver Whitecaps, number one in the West, highest scoring team. And at first, people were not taking them seriously because they were beating a bunch of nobodies, right? As we like to say.
Just scared or good in the chat, guys. Scared or good?
So
Okay.
to
I'm
start
scared.
the season, where is it? To start
Terrified.
the season, they beat Portland. That was the first game of the year. They beat them 4-1. Now,
Yeah.
the thing about that game is that Kamal Miller got a red card in like the 10th minute.
Yes, early.
And they played like 85 plus minutes with Portland down a man. Portland at that moment, they were trying to figure out how to play without Evander. They were a mess. They've come together a little bit recently, but at that point, they were a mess. They were down a man, and they put a 4 on Portland. Okay. Before that, they played their first Champions Cup game against Deportivo Saprissa. That's a team from Costa Rica. They lost 2-1. Then they went ahead and at home, they beat Deportivo Saprissa 2-0. They advanced. Then they beat the LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy are yet to win a game this year.
Yeah, they're garbage.
I think they're the only team that hasn't won a game. I don't know if you could check that, Chris.
I'll look that up.
I think they're the only team that not win one game so far this year. They beat Montreal.
Toronto and Montreal haven't won a game.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Canada and
Well,
and
the
LA
other
Galaxy.
Canadas and LA Galaxy are the only winless teams. Winless.
So they beat Montreal, which is one of those teams.
Yeah.
Then they went ahead and they beat FC Dallas, which hasn't been great. They lost to Chicago 3-1, which we just drew with 0-0.
Tied against Toronto.
0-0. And Toronto's terrible. Then the first solid win of the regular season, I thought, came against Colorado.
Yes, because they're a good team.
The week before last. And then this past week is when they started scaring everybody, when they beat Austin 5-1, because going into this game, Austin had the best defense in the league. They had allowed like 3 goals all year. They put up 5. They haven't beat many good teams. So everybody points to the Monterrey and the Pumas. Oh, that's it. But they eliminated the two Liga MX teams.
Yeah.
This is the thing. They eliminated both those teams. They beat none of those teams.
Yeah, they tied.
They played those two teams 4 times, and they won none of those games. They didn't lose them, but they didn't win them. Both games, they started on the road. No, I'm sorry. No. They started at home. Both legs. First leg against Monterrey, first leg against Pumas was in Vancouver. Both those games ended 1-1. Then they went to Mexico for the second leg of both those games against Monterrey and against Puma. And both of those ended 2-2, coincidentally. So same exact scoreline for both of those. Because they scored 2 goals in Mexico, both those times, they advanced on away goals. I can't take away too much from them, Mike, because they played well against those Mexican teams, which I'm sure nobody expected them to. But regardless, they did it. Right. Go ahead.
They're taking advantage of that whole aggregate, the way that the away goals count for.
They went ahead and they advanced both times off of that. So, yes, the fact that they were able to do that and they did that in Mexico, they scored more goals in Mexico, they have to get some credit. But am I scared of them? No. Everybody's like, oh, but they beat Monterrey. They haven't beat anybody. They drew with them, which is still cute, right? You drew with Mexican teams. Congratulations, you drew, but you didn't beat them. So
and Saga Daddy, we watch on our Battered MLS channel. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, well, subscribe here first, and like the video. But if you haven't done it, check out Battered MLS fans. We've been watching every single game every week. Like, we've been deep diving into the league. Vancouver's the team that we've been talking about heavily on the program. So, we're not watching every single second of Vancouver, but we know more than enough to know what we're talking about.
And My name is
Jeff.
is saying while Danny's talking about Vancouver not winning games after Miami ties with Toronto. Do you remember watching that Toronto game?
They tied with Toronto too. 0-0.
They tied with Toronto 0-0. Like I'm not worried about Vancouver right now. Now I will tell you one thing that Vancouver did that I thought was interesting is that they went into Mexico's. Well, yeah, but they went into Mexico to play against Pumas in a winner go home game, and they didn't start Brian White, which to me takes some
cojones.
They started Rios instead. Like they have depth. Their best player, Gald, has been out since I want to say the third game of the season. Wow, and I haven't even looked into that. But their best player has been out for the majority of this year. Everything they've been doing has been without Gald. They got Emmanuel Sabi, which is a baller. They have Sebastian Berhalter. That guy is a younger version of Gressel. His pinpoint passing is the thing of beauty.
Yes, it is.
And then Brian White, a lot of people talking about possibly should be leading the MVP votes right now because he's putting on a show right now for Vancouver.
Shout out to Glasshouse Soccer.
What's going on, Glass? I'm not scared, but I definitely think that this is going to be an interesting matchup because they have a lot of depth. And well, give me your thoughts on Vancouver before I start getting into the numbers.
So, look, they're not a bad team, right? All the statistics that you mentioned in terms of their competition in the CCC, it does scream a lot. They haven't won a game. They haven't won, technically. They've tied every single game, and because of this away goal sort of value, they've walked away from it. But they did beat Colorado, which is concerning. Colorado's a pretty good offensive team. They did tie against Toronto. That's also something that positively shows for us, but we also tied against Toronto, so that didn't say much either. And then speaking of Glasshouse Soccer, Chicago, they lost against Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking at this roster, I don't know if I was reading up on it, and Gald apparently, if he were to come back, they're saying that it's possibility he comes back. More likely he comes back for the second leg in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. So Emmanuel Sabi is playing great. They have this kid Ahmed. I forgot his first name. Was it Ali Ahmed? He's a baller also.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's good.
They have Jaden Nelson, baller. Brian White, baller. In the midfield, they have I forgot the guy's first name. It's his last name is Vite. I think he's Venezuelan. Him, Berhalter. Everybody is talking about the fact that Yannick Bright is possibly the best center defensive midfielder in the league. They have Andres Cubas, which a lot of people consider one of the best defensive midfielders in the league. Like, they are stacked midfield and up top. So, yes, I said I wasn't worried, but this is going to be a great series because this is a serious team. This team, we could possibly play them now, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see them in the MLS Cup final. Like, this team is really good and deep.
Yeah, Cubas is great. Marasovic is saying that.
I said Venezuela. I'm sorry, Ecuadorian. I knew it was yellow, blue, and red flag, but it wasn't Colombia, so I was close. But yes, and that midfield, and I love Berhalter. So the midfield is strong. The attack, if you add Gald, Nelson, White, Ahmed, Sabi, they're deep and they're good.
And Takaoka, the goalkeeper, is good too.
Oh, he's the one with the go to sleep.
Yes.
Celebration that was a little controversial last week.
Yes.
Was it him? No,
it wasn't Takaoka. Him. It was
it wasn't him.
No, that was another team. That was
that wasn't him.
Now Takaoka, the goalkeeper for Vancouver, he's very good.
Yeah, I'm thinking of who was that played Nashville last week. Oh, I'm not gonna get lost on that. But the Vancouver is a solid squad. But I think Inter Miami is the best team in the MLS. And I also think, yes, and they do have a new manager. But I do think that Inter Miami should be able to go ahead and win these games. And actually, I'm going to pull something up while you filibuster here.
Well, Mike V is saying, Danny says they are deep and they are good. Now, listen, Danny, I mean, I'm a little nervous because like Vancouver has the chops to be able to give us a run for our money, better than LAFC. In reality, LAFC played a little bit more up to the challenge against us than they have been this whole season.
Well, you know what the thing is? I kind of prefer. Well, would you prefer to play Pumas or Vancouver? I don't know anything about Pumas.
Well, that's
so I really can't
look,
say.
The devil I know better versus than the devil I don't. But the thing about it is that you can't really hate on Vancouver's progress. You get they got to play against who they get set up with.
We also set up. I think this is a little better for us. Maybe our defense will get tested, but this goes back. This goes back to when we were talking about the balance earlier in the show about our defense and our offense. Yes, they have a great attack, but they're going to open it up a lot more than LAFC did.
Yeah.
LAFC, they were defend, try to catch us on the counter, and that was frustrating us. Vancouver is going to open it up a little more than they did, and I think that bodes well for us. Now, what's up with this deep and good? Did I really say deep and good?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
all right.
Miami King mentions here, second leg, Pumas the better team, should win.
Now, I'm really happy. Thank you, Inter Miami, again, for giving us the tickets, our seats. I really want to host the final if we make it to the final. Let me make sure I say that. If we make it to the final, I would really like to host it. Now, who hosts that final? Well, it depends on the standings from the round of 16 on, whoever is better in the table. Here it is. These are the current standings. Inter Miami has 9 points. They won 3 games. They lost 1, right? The LAFC lost. Cruz Azul and Tigres both behind us with 8 points each. Vancouver with 4 because, like we said, they just tied with everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the current standings. If Miami can go ahead and beat Vancouver twice, automatically host. Automatically, because there's no way Cruz Azul or Tigres can catch up. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. We can draw. We can maybe even lose. Mm-hmm. But if we win both games, automatically go get your tickets. We're hosting the final on June 1st in Chase Stadium. What a beautiful day that would be, because the final of the Champions Cup, the biggest tournament in North America, would be hosted in Chase Stadium. That would be a beautiful moment. But the only other positive is that Cruz Azul and Tigres are playing against each other. And I wouldn't say
cancel each other out at some point.
Yeah, you would hope that neither one of those teams would beat each other twice. You hope that there's going to be a draw in there and maybe a win, something like that. So maybe one of them ends up with 4 points. That would be 12 points. That means if we win just one game, I would assume that goal differential would be the other difference. We just win one game by enough goals. Right now we have a 1-goal lead in the goal differential. We win, and then we draw, we host. Like, I'm going to be taking a very close look at these standings, because not only do I want to beat Vancouver and move on to the final, and yes, I get it. Whatever. I'm not going to get greedy. I get it. It. Just being in the final is important, but I would love to host it. Yeah. So I am paying a lot of attention to this, because this to me is another important part of the tournament.
Well, I mean, and it adds on to the experience, right? Like, us as fans will be able to celebrate an additional trophy at home. And that's huge. And it's against a Liga MX team, right? I mean, Cruz Azul, we know how they show out. Tigres, we don't know how they show out here, but I'm pretty sure that they have a pretty big fan base, so they'll show out as well. I mean, look, it's a good thing that Cruz Azul and Tigres are facing off against each other. And Mike B saying he'd rather prefer to play Pumas 1,000 times.
Well, I will tell you that I brought it up a couple episodes ago, that I think, and I'm predicting, just because sports gods are that's how the sports gods work. We're going to host against Cruz Azul. because that's the full circle moment. Do you have any idea how many times that Messi goal against Cruz Azul in his debut match for Inter Miami is going to be replayed before that final? They're constantly going to be showing that highlight. Boom, this is the last time they played. That was Messi's debut. This is a beautiful moment, full circle, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I feel it. I respect Vancouver. I'm not trying to poo-poo on them. I think that they are a good squad. I think that they
You're putting us in the final already. You're putting us in the final against Cruz Azul. That's it.
I am. 100. I said that we were going to win this tournament before the season started, and I'm not changing my mind. I can't see us not winning this tournament.
Cringe is here trying to drop a bomb. Says, guys, you need to stop talking about the finals. This Vancouver team is going to be a problem. We need to truly break down this team and figure out how to beat them.
And my name is Jeff. I said they were going to beat LAFC. Didn't jinx them. I'm not worried. But yeah, okay. So,
I mean, your people are mad that you're already placing us in the final June 1st.
Yes, I'm sure I have those powers where my words are going to change the outcome of the games. But yes, Vancouver. The attack is, like I said, it's the best in the league right now.
Yeah.
And and everybody's telling me to stop. Look, I got ahead of myself because I started talking about the final. Right, relax.
He's talking about this. He's bringing in the sports gods and thunderstorms, and
it's destined to happen. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. So hopefully we don't do any watch along, Soccer Daddy,
No,
because then we're completely cooked.
We broke that jinx. Oh no, we beat Atlanta. The last watch along we did.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, would you, as far as rotations go, okay. Oh, do you want to mention anything else about Vancouver?
No, man. I want to talk about rotation because I think that's been kind of a problem. You know, this whole idea of rotation with Weigand, with Lujan, with Ben Krem, like that's something that me and the fellas and I talked about in the Spanish show. It's something that we talked about on our last show. Like the lack of rotation or the persistence of rotation has kind of hurt.
Oh, and real quick, and before we get into rotation, I just want to end it with this. MLS wise, at least, because I don't know too much about Monterrey or Puma, so I'm not going to talk about them. The only good attack that Vancouver has played against was Chicago, and they lost 3-1. We are a very good attack.
Colorado's good in attack too.
Not as look, they're inconsistent.
They're not as potent, right? Yes.
Right. No, they are, but they're not as good. But yes,
Chicago is by far the best.
And then
Chicago by far is the best. Yeah.
Ali Ahmed is a beast. Yes, and last game he didn't start because Emmanuel Sabi started in his place. Emmanuel Sabi's a beast. Brian White is a beast. Blackman and Berhalter. I don't know if you cringe. I don't know if you just joined this. We were just talking about them like 10, 15, 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
going through the roster. Yeah, because 15, 20 minutes ago we were breaking down the whole roster and how deep they are. I think Berhalter is a better version of Julian Gressel with his pinpoint passing down. I think that Berhalter is underrated. I'm going to draft him in our non-DP TAM draft, where we're planning on just drafting a bunch of non-DP players to play against each other in FIFA on the MLS show. We're going to be doing that soon. But yes, we broke down all that in cringe. So go ahead and after we're done, if you want to go back and listen. But yes, that we went through the whole from top to bottom. They are a great team. Yes. They are a great team. So, but only good attack they played against Chicago, beat them 3-1. So we're going to beat them 3-1 next Thursday. That's right. I already jinxed it. Sure. Go ahead. I'm going to keep jinxing it. Now that I know people don't like it, I'm just going to keep doing it.
You're just going to triple down here.
That's it.
So lack of rotation, Danny. Like, I mean, do we need rotation against these guys? Like, should we just?
Well, but I think more than anything. Oh, and shout out to Cringe. Much appreciated.
Cringe with the 199 Super Slam.
Oh, Chris, you don't got the new one?
No, I don't have the new one, not yet. Listen, I made all those clips, guys. If you guys can, please go on our Battered MLS Twitter channel. Go and check out
or
the videos.
Instagram. We have an Instagram now that
That's
we're
right,
gonna
that's right.
we're gonna try to use. We're trying to be more on it. No, talking daddy. Well, look, if anybody knows, I'm a Battered fan. I don't expect anything good to happen, so I'm talking like that right now. Don't worry. Next week, once we have our actual preview show with our guest, thank you, Marlo. Once we have our actual preview show with our actual guest, I'll tone it down. But right now we're a week away, so I'm still feeling good.
Yeah. So lack of rotation, Danny.
So lack of rotation. The lack of rotation is really starting to worry me. And it started to bother me during the preseason. The fact that we were running all our main guys out there for 70, 80, 90 minutes. But they've been playing since the beginning of February. They've been playing every 3 to 4 days, 80, 90 minutes, even in preseason games. And that's telling me a couple of things. One, Mascherano, and I think most people expect this, right? But Mascherano can't tell these guys not to play.
No, he can't. I mean,
no, he can't.
He could try. He could try.
He can't even try.
It's not happening.
But I think at this point, what coach could?
Nobody can.
No.
They're going to play when they want to play.
Pep Guardiola, because of his history with at least with Messi, was Busquets and Alba were part of the team also. With his history with them, maybe. But I don't think there's any coach in the world that can be like, hey, Messi, you're not playing this week. Or you're coming off the – I don't think so. I think Messi kind of dictates himself. But that's killing me because there isn't enough rotation. Like, he's rotating everyone else but the oldest guys on the team. Hey, Segovia, you probably need a rest. Hey, Frey, go rest that knee. Hey, Bright, take a chill over here. Hey, Noah Allen, Luca, Toto, take turns. You guys can rest. Ustadi, go ahead. Chill. Let Drake take Toronto on. But Messi, Suarez, Busquets, and Alba, now they're running out there 80, 90 minutes. I was surprised that Jordi Alba came on in the second half against Chicago. Like, at some point, like, this is a very long season, and this isn't your typical regular season, right? Because your typical regular European season is long. Like ours, 34 games. That's a long season. But at the end of it, then you have the playoffs. Unfortunately, here in the MLS, the games that matter happen at the very end. So we need you to be healthy at the very end. Because in Europe, you win a lot in the beginning and in the middle of the year. You built a nice little lead in the standings, and then you can coast. You can't do that here. You need to be on your best foot when the season ends, because that's when the games really matter, when the playoffs begin. And we need to be ready for that.
Well, I'll tell you that Phil would definitely probably bench Messi.
Yeah, right. No, nobody would do that.
And as far as Jordi Alba, he has, I guess, physically the most output, excruciatingly. Like, he hauls ass down the line.
Yes, absolutely.
Up and down.
Even though he's not pushing up as much anymore.
So if there's anyone that does need that sort of rest, it would be Jordi Alba. And Cringe is asking here a question. Do you guys think Mascherano's a little biased and favors his Argentines? He's forced to play Bright because he's so much better than Redondo. This, I think that the analysis that you have, Cringe, about Bright is 1,000% on point. He can't not play him. Like, Bright has...
And he has to find time for Redondo.
Yeah, and so he uses these excuses of, you need the rest, Bright. You got injured on your left hammy, whatever, Bright. Let's bring in Redondo. Because
that's the worst thing, though, because a hammy injury can flare up again quickly.
Well, I mean, but he's using those excuses to be able to have Redondo play. So nobody puts baby Messi in a corner by Mike V. Good one.
Dirty Dancing, Mike V. I like it. I like the Dirty Dancing reference.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Bright playing with lights out, he wouldn't be seeing the field. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with you. And Rubito's asking, isn't it better for their shape to keep playing unless they are injured? No. Yes, 100%.
I think so, yes. Especially when you're older.
But this is the difference, Rubita, and this is at least what I think, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Because they're playing every 3 games, like they're not going longer than 7 days without playing usually. So you could rest him against Chicago or no,
Yes.
Toronto, for example.
Toronto, yeah.
Against Toronto, and he would have played against LAFC on one Wednesday and played the next Wednesday. It's not like he has a long rest. Like some of these games where they're broken up every 3 or 4 days, give him one of those days off so he can have a 7-day break. Because although what you're saying is 100% true, you want them to be in playing shape and in rhythm. Like stretch it out because there's too many games congested right now. And they played, man, I haven't looked at it in a while. I have to look it up again. But since Valentine's Day, they had played every 3 days, just about forever, up until that international break. And international break when they finally had a lifelong break. And after the international break was over, it's been every 3 days again, up until this week. Like, you got to be careful because Mascherano isn't used to it. And I hope that this doesn't go back to bite him in the butt.
Well, I really hope. Look, I think that he's going to get it, especially with the most important games coming up. I don't think that he's going to play too much with the ingredients here. I think we're going to start seeing Frey playing against Vancouver. Mm-hmm. We're going to start seeing the right people placed, not this Ben Krem at the right wing. I think that we're going to start to see Mascherano really stay consistently in his sort of starting 11 bag.
And my name is Jeff saying Chicago, Columbus, Vancouver is not congested. This is the first time that he has a break during the week for a while. Yeah. You're right. This isn't congested, even though he's still not getting a full 7 days because the Chicago game was on Sunday and the Columbus game was on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's still not a full break, but then the Vancouver game is on Thursday. So they'll have 5 days to rest for the Vancouver game. But then they play against Dallas. Was it on Saturday or Sunday?
They play against Dallas on Sunday. They moved it from Saturday to Sunday because of the Vancouver game.
So the Vancouver game's on Thursday, which will bleed into Friday, right? Because it's so late. Then they play at home against Dallas on Sunday, and then they play on Wednesday against Vancouver for the second leg. Yeah. And then after that, they come back and they play against who they play after the second leg?
They play against the Rebels on May 3rd.
Right. So again, it's bang, bang, bang after this week.
No, after that. Oof, oh man, it's
that Dallas game. I hope to see some rotation.
April 19th to May 3rd is gonna be the BB. Really, from the 24th. From the 24th, 3 days later, a game. 27th, 3 days later, a game. 30th, 4 days later, a game.
No, 3 days. There's only 30 days in April.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot because my birthday's on that Sunday. So, yeah, get out of here. I don't need that in my life. That negativity.
All right. So Chris, again, we got on here because we wanted to talk about the semifinals. I know it's still a week away, but we're really excited about it. This is the furthest we've gotten in the tournament. And this is the biggest one, right? I really want to win the MLS Cup to have that star above the crest. But there's nothing bigger in this country, at least, than it's bigger than the U.S. Open Cup. I'm sorry to tell you. There's nothing bigger than the CONCACAF Champions Cup. There is nothing bigger. And it's something that the MLS has not won very often. I think there's only been 2 teams that have won it. The Seattle Sounders won it in 2019, I want to say. And then I think it was DC United won it back in like the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. So MLS teams haven't fared well in this tournament. This would only be the 3rd time that an MLS team wins it. And I think it's going to start happening much more often coming forward. But up until now, it's something that hasn't happened often. And it's going to be huge, huge if we can pull it off. So.
But I guess a 100+ year tournament is more important. You can catch them on YouTube. And Soccer Daddy, I am going to be turning the big 4-0.
Ooh.
It's our year.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, we just came on here because we were excited. So we wanted to take an early look. We went down the roster of Vancouver. We went down their games that they've won so far, why some people didn't believe in them, how they got here. by basically drawing every game. They've played 6 games. They've drawn 4 of them. They beat the Costa Rican team once, and they lost to the Costa Rican team once. They haven't fared extremely well in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. I understand. Yes, I know they got 2 draws in Mexico. Whoop-de-doo, how impressive. But they are a good team, but I think Inter Miami has a great chance to win.
Well, Mr. Spider Pig predicting 4-0 Miami. I mean, we'll see. I can't wait to preview
nobody's gonna
this.
jump on him.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna jump on him about
I can't wait to preview this game.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Real quick, I'm rocking the Brooklyn Jackie Robinson shirt. Jackie Robinson, happy Jackie Robinson Day. For those who don't know, he broke the color barrier 78 years ago. So yes, that's why I'm wearing that. Wore it to work today. I got the Jackie Robinson hat. So yeah, Jackie Robinson, April 15th, 1947. Big day in American sports history. I wonder when that started happening around the world.
What
the color barrier being broken?
I think it was probably a little earlier, just depending on the country.
Huh. I want to look into that. I never looking into that.
Listen, I've been watching for a couple months now how badass Napoleon Bonaparte was. Like, I knew he was a badass, but like he was a mess. He really ran shit, Napoleon Bonaparte.
He was small.
Like, he was really about that life. Like, anybody that you think is about it, he is like was 1,000 times about it. By the way, you just mentioned another sport. I just want to mention the NBA playoff starts. Okay, Saturday at what is it? 6:00 p.m. The Knicks play against the Pistons. Game 1. So
excited for the Pistons to eliminate the Knicks. It's going to be hilarious.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
And I don't know if my name is Jeff is being serious, but I guess I'll entertain it anyway. The color barrier, only white people could play in the pro sports. For example, in baseball, they had the Negro League. Jackie Robinson ended up being the first player to go ahead and play in the professional leagues for the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. And that's who technically broke the color barrier in sports here in this country.
I think that there was another player that did play that was I forgot the name. It escapes me. There was another player that played baseball also that was African American, but it's a great story. And if you guys haven't watched the movie, watch 42. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, the movie 42 is amazing.
Yes.
All right. So any final thoughts, Chris, before we run out of here? Oh, wait, and we're going to do Battered MLS fans. We're recapping match day 8. So if you want to join us for that, because you have nothing else to do, I want to keep talking some football. Join us for that. Battered MLS fans, go ahead, subscribe, and check us out in about 3 to 4 minutes. Chris, any final thoughts?
Listen, check out Battered MLS fans. Let other people know that like the MLS and soccer and all that kind of other stuff to check us out. I put up really cool videos. Goalie blocks are my favorite videos to do. It's super entertaining to watch. You don't have to watch the top 5 or the posts, whatever. Just watch the goalie blocks. Super entertaining. Very underrated. It's because the Knicks played this weekend, bro.
No, Marengo, I literally just explained that it was for Jackie Robinson because it's Jackie Robinson Day. I'm rocking the Jackie Robinson hat.
And the Knicks play this weekend, bro.
Oh, God. All right. Well, like I said, came on here. Early look at Vancouver. We'll be back on Thursday previewing the Columbus game. We don't know who's going to be on with us yet because Ty says he can't. So we're going to have to find somebody else to preview the Columbus game. But we'll be back Thursday, 9 o'clock to preview the Columbus game. So if you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, other good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends to come, join us, subscribe. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour and 5 minutes. You guys are the best part of the show, and hope you guys join us for the Battered MLS fans in a couple minutes. So that's about it. Until the next one, have a good one.